Our month-and-a-half streak of shitty races in the Cup Series unfortunately did not come to an end last weekend at Texas, because if they weren't running around in a single-file snooze fest, they were wrecking every single restart. The good news is, though, I think our streak is about to end, because Toto, we're not at a shitty racetrack anymore, because for the 12th race of the NASCAR season, we're heading to Kansas, and there are some bad-ass paint schemes to review. Let's go. 2022 Ross Chastain would have sent Joey Logano to Houston to win that race last weekend. That's why I'm starting to think that Rick Hendrick might have actually killed Ross Chastain, because ever since that whole incident at Darlington, Ross Chastain has basically been a slightly more exciting version of Chase Elliott. Please bring back our glorious, reckless king. 10. Syndrome actually had a really good run going at Texas, until he didn't. 6. Somebody needs to call Michael Jackson right now and find out if hell has officially frozen over, because Austin Dillon now has 3 straight top 10 finishes. I didn't think that Austin Dillon could get 3 straight top 10s on Mario Kart, let alone the Cup Series. I am completely blown away. And somebody, please get me a sportsbook sponsorship. 9. By the time Joey Logano was pulling into victory lane last weekend, I'm pretty sure Noah Gragson was already sitting at a Long John Silver slamming a chicken tender meal. Noah is currently 31st in points. And don't get me wrong, none of us were expecting him to go out and win multiple races. But you're behind Ty Dillon in points, buddy. Noah either needs to ease up on the Lucy breakers or double down. I don't know. Be better. 8. Did we ever get an explanation of why Kyle Larson completely fell apart at the end of the race? You could have saved us from a Joey Logano win. Thanks for nothing. Glaze on. 10. Let me give you a quick fun fact about Allegra. The 60-something-year-old guy that I work with every day has probably been to the doctor 4 times in the past 2 months because he's too stupid to take a daily allergy medicine. Buddy will pop Advils like it's peanut M&Ms, but oh, God forbid I take an Allegra. It messes with my body. On second thought, maybe that's what Brad Keselowski's problem is. Maybe he's taking too much Allegra, and that's why he sucks. My apologies, co-worker that'll never see this video because he's too old to get on TikTok. You might be onto something. The yellow and purple color combination kind of reminds me of a helicopter crash, but in a way it almost kind of fucks. Kind of like a micro penis. 9. No matter what Spire does, Nations Guard will always remind me of the first car Kyle Larson drove with Hendrick Motorsports, which is a good thing. 8. Everybody always asks me if I think Kyle Busch is ever going to win again. And it's always a really tough question for me to answer. Because do I think in my heart Kyle Busch will win again? Yes. But at the same time, I think he's receiving all the karma from being an absolute dickhead all those years at Joe Gibbs. To me, that is the only logical explanation of why this guy manages to fuck up every single race when he's running up front. Kyle Busch is an Iceman, a closer. There's no way that he's washed. Running paint schemes like this also isn't doing the guy any favors. I mean, seriously. A barrel? You can't win a race in a car that looks like a barrel. Kyle Busch barrel roll plus 10,000, lock it in. 3. I've never seen so many excuses made for a driver in my entire life. It's always, Chase isn't good in the next-gen car. Hendrick isn't giving him the good stuff. He needs a new crew chief. Have you ever thought, maybe Chase just sucks? The only reason he won the 2020 championship is because he shoved a horseshoe up his ass. Chase isn't a has-been. He's a never-been. He's mediocre, overrated. 5. The more and more I see this paint scheme, the more it's pissing me off that they are just blatantly stealing the Junior Motorsports 40 ride. 8. Denny Hamlin threw the horns down in driver intros and almost immediately paid the price. Denny's car blew up like the Space Shuttle Challenger. I don't think I've seen anything like it in a next-gen car. Pretty impressive. 9. Is Ryan Blaney slowly reverting back to the guy that can't finish? I thought for sure he was going to get it done on May the 4th be with you. I guess he just wasn't worthy. 4. I remember when AJ Allmendinger ran good for a few races. Yeah, that miracle's ended. 6. Mr. Busher. It is so funny to me that they bring the Kleenex car to the race that they lost by a pube hair last year. You cannot tell me that that is just a coincidence. I still haven't stopped crying. Also, quick shout out to myself. Bullying still works because guess what? No white hood on the Kroger car. You're welcome. 9. Season 2 of NASCAR Full Speed came out today, and I will admit, I watched the first episode at work. But Taylor Kitchen posted a little clip today. She's actually in the show, episode 2, when they're talking about Chase Briscoe and Stewart Haas Racing closing down. Congratulations, Taylor. You're basically a movie star. 10. Here's one good thing I could say about this paint scheme. It is a good color combination. The bad thing and the reason that this paint scheme pretty much sucks is because it's just a slightly better version of the Rheem paint scheme. 2. Joshy. One of these weeks I may have to try to not call Josh Berry Joshy because since I started calling him that, he's pretty much completely sucked. 8. Joey Logano has got to be the only person to ever start a season without recording a single top 10 and then just magically fall into a win. Now the guy can just sit back and do absolutely nothing like he has all season until August, put his lucky shoes on, and then go win a Mickey Mouse Championship again. Awesome. 6. Bubba's running this vintage-style Columbia paint scheme again, and I wish NASCAR would go to a vintage-style point system so we wouldn't get Mickey Mouse champions like Joey Logano. 9. I've only watched the first episode of NASCAR Full Speed, but I'm just wondering, who are they going to talk to in William Byron's family? He has no girlfriend. Can they interview the Legos? Guess I'll find out in a little bit. 7. After leaving me on red for the past 2 months, C4 Energy is finally going to send me another shipment of drinks. I'm going to place partial blame on Jesse Love because I think the reason I wasn't getting any shipments is because I tried ordering the flavor he had on his first cup start, and they were out. These C4 Energy cars totally fucked, though. Is Richard Childress about to move him up? Replace Austin? Replace Kyle? Seems to be running a lot of cup races lately. I don't know. 10. Todd, we want the Grillo's pickle car. We want merch. We want the whole 9. Where are we at? 10. Congratulations to Riley Herbst for still existing on planet Earth and picking up his first top 15 finish of the season. Yeah, you're totally not going to get replaced by Corey Heim next year. 5. I saw this car referred to on Twitter as the Sex Machine 9002. And quite frankly, from the side, it doesn't look half bad. But from the top view, this car lived up to its name because it completely fucked my eyeballs. 0. I could not believe how many of you defended Red Baron Pizza last week. Red Baron sucks. Real men eat Amy's. At least we could all agree that the paint scheme was completely horrid, though. 10. Big shout out to John Hunter Nemechek for picking up his third top 10 of the season. He's actually only 1 point behind Ty Gibbs in the point standings. Joe, it's time to shit can your grandson. Hire Johnny. 4. Advent Health is sponsoring the race this weekend because I guess it's National Nurses Week. So shout out all the nurses. Thank you for all you do. But please stay away from me with your needles. Also, I guess Eric Jones put his mother's name on this car. I guess that's supposed to be cool. 10. I have a sneaking suspicion that Tyler Reddick is going to win the race this weekend. But this car is terrible. 3. No, it's okay. You didn't just have a stroke. Hayek Motorsports decided to reveal their new sponsor, Fun Pops, with a picture taken on the original flip phone. This paint scheme may be good past all the blur, but I wouldn't know. This team has got to be on their way out. I give it until August for us to get an announcement. 0. Eli! 8. Here's Cody Ware. 7. Some of you may have almost been fooled for a second that Ty Gibbs was going to win. Guys, I've been trying to tell you, Ty Gibbs will never win a race. 6. Ryan Preece has been running way too good to not pick up a win at some point this year. Plus, he wears Driven sunglasses that you could pick up on drivensunglasses.com using promo code Tyler20 for 20% off and free shipping. And this car gives me major Halloween vibes. 10. Obviously, I'm super stoked for Mr. Heim Time himself to be running the Cup race for 2311 this week. But what did they do to my boy? They got bro driving around in a highlighter. This car looks like the neon yellow Nike shorts everyone was wearing in the 5th grade. Also, Robin Hood are those crooks that wouldn't let you buy GameStop stock when it was blowing up a few years ago. For whatever reason, though, a sick part of me still thinks that this paint scheme completely fucking rocks. 10. It kind of aggravates me that Spire just continues to revolve the different shitty paint schemes around to all their drivers. But I've said it a million times, the Gamebridge car just looks better on the 71. 6. Unfortunately, the prophecy wasn't true yet again. Carson Hocevar did not win at Texas, even though he had the quickest car in the entire state. Think I might have to take a week off from betting on Carson, which probably means he's going to win this weekend. Anyways, Carson, see you at Chili's Friday, May 23rd. This paint scheme sucks, though. Sorry. 3. It's time we all admit it. They rushed SVG. He's not ready for the Cup Series. Either that or Trackhouse is really, 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 really bad. 3. Cocodrile. 9. And the unsponsored Cup Series paint scheme of the week goes to Eric Jones and the Advent Health Machine. Again, big shout out to all the nurses. Happy National Nurses Week or whatever it is. You guys are pretty important. Here is this week's top 3. Guys, can you believe that I just made a Legacy Motor Club car the paint scheme of the week? I guess times have really changed. Anyway, here is your current paint scheme review point standings. Hopefully we get a banger at Kansas. See you all next week for the race being run on my birthday, the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro. Later.